What's up, magical humans? Welcome back to your most magical life. I'm Mia Magic. We are talking about the Taurus full moon on Friday, November 19th. It's going to be a big one. It's a partial lunar eclipse. And of course, I will be leading a full moon ritual on Friday night at 5 p.m. PST. If you would like to join, I'll make sure and put the link below. For me, this moon is going to be really interesting. Well, it's going to be really interesting for me because I'm a Taurus rising, but I believe that this moon is going to be really interesting because of the things that Taurus represents. And as I share all the time, new moons are generally for planting seeds. We thrust our intentions down into the dark, fertile soil of the earth and wait for them to sprout. We water them with emotions and intention and action, right? We have to take action. That's that fire. And so I think that this moon will be very interesting because Taurus is all about luxury, but it's not just about financial luxury and like fancy things. It's about feeling luxurious in our bodies, in our lives. It's about our sensual pleasures and delights, the way that we feel that eternal and innate frequency of abundance when we're out in nature, when you're just surrounded by green. I made a video, I can't remember which one it was now, but about blue space, which is a type of brain matter that is created when you are immersed in the natural world, when all that's around you is natural sounds and green, like visualizing, seeing green all around you creates this different type of brain matter. And so nature herself generates the most profound frequency of abundance, right? If it's literally creating dope, totally new, really healthy, important brain matter in our minds, obviously nature is the true nature of abundance, right? Pun intended. So Taurus is the sign of the natural world. It is the earthiest sign. It's the highest iteration of the earth signs. And it's ruled by Venus, and Venus is the beauty of the great green earth herself. Obviously, that's why my whole office is themed in the colors that it is because this is my Venusian temple. This is my expression of that Venusian Venus energy and the goddess that I see and believe as being luxury in terms of the luxury that it is for me to get to just spend quiet, silent time in the natural world and connecting and communing with her, which is all that we used to need. We didn't need all the stuff and all the Wi-Fi and all the social medias and the followers and any of that stuff. We didn't used to need any of that. We just needed the earth. That was it. That's all we required to survive. And like we literally live on her, you know? So this moon is bringing to completion any of the patterns that you've had that have blocked abundance from your life, that have blocked that beautiful, sensual enjoyment and capacity to luxuriate in your experience. So what does that mean? You don't have to like live in a super fancy home or drive a really fancy car. Like I live in a very expensive home because I live in Los Angeles, but it's not a very fancy home. This home was built 100 years ago. It's been fully redone. It's beautiful and I love it and God has blessed it. I'm so grateful. And it's not like one of those new extravagant types of places. It's right for me. These old growth redwood timbers, they painted everything before I did. I would never have painted them. I've already talked about that in my witchy house tour video, y'all. It's so crazy. This wood is worth millions of dollars, but it's okay. Neither here nor there. Not my choice. But I know that I'm meant to be here. So there's luxury in this for me, that I get to be surrounded by my ancestors, by the trees that have taught me and given me everything. I buy everything, my desk, my chair, everything, even my sexy little Jen's pirate booty outfit that I'm wearing. I buy everything that I can use to be as sustainable as possible. That is an expression of abundance for me because I know there's already enough. I know there's already enough shit, enough clothes, enough cars, enough desks, enough furniture to literally satisfy the needs of the entire world. So why would I try and get something new? I don't need to create more shit, more waste. So that's part of my expression of abundance. And so this moon is asking us to come to completion with any ways that we have blocked or hindered abundance in our lives, any ways we have not been tending to or caring for ourselves, any ways that we have been maybe blind or just not paying attention to the true abundance of nature and the natural world and the earth and how she lives and shows up and the way that she shows us her abundance and gives us everything, right? Clean air, clean water, clean food. There's so many ways that this planet provides for us. How are you tending to her in return? How do you relate to her? How do you regard her? Because for me, the more sustainable and eco-friendly that I've become, the close, I'm like, so close to plastic free, like 96%. I still buy cat food, and the cat food comes in plastic bags, and so does the cat litter. It's really annoying. I tried to use dirt from outside for the cat litter, and it just got all over the house. So still, I'm doing my best, but I still got a couple of things. I'm not perfect, right? Nobody is, but I'm doing my best. And the better I have tried, the better I've done, the more effort I have put towards being sustainable and eco-friendly and as devoted to the planet as I possibly can be, the more she bestows blessings of abundance upon me, the more money I make, the happier I get, the better my orgasms are, like everything gets better. It's amazing. So that is truly what I feel and I believe is important in this lunation and in this archetypal energy of coming to completion with Venus in her ruling sign of luxury, of abundance. Generally, people think of Venus or Aphrodite as like the very pink kind of pearly colors. You can do that as well. Obviously, like I said, the emerald green is my expression of it because Venus, is the beauty of the great green earth. It is that mother. It is the lover too, but it is that mother that we all share. This, right? Like nature is just fucking all the time, like making love, the hummingbirds and the butterflies and all of the flowers just like blossoming open. I mean, it's just sex everywhere, it's so beautiful. That's why sex is so sacred, because it's happening everywhere all the time. And it's important for us to just all honor and acknowledge that. The reason I think this is going to be very impactful is because it's not a new moon. We're not planting seeds of intention. Full moons are about completion, right? The whole cycle has gone through all the way, and now the moon is full. The moon is fully illuminated. So we can see everything. I mean, not everything. There is still a dark side. You know what I'm saying? But the part that we can see is fully luminous. And so during that time, we get to think about how the light of awareness is now being shed upon the dark sides, upon the shadows, upon the things that are ready to be released and let go of. So I know for those of you watch my videos all the time, y'all already know this, but for those of you who are new, very important, and particularly for this moon, feels important to me because we've been in a portal over the last about 2 years in this country, on this planet, in our species, really, right? Like if any of you have seen that amazing David Attenborough thing, like the year the world changed or something like that, where David Attenborough, he really hit it hard lately. If you guys haven't seen all the amazing things that he's been doing at like 94 years old, he's like, this is my last hurrah. I'm going to make 14 new documentary series. Like, God bless him. I love that man so much. And he did one about what happened to the natural world and wildlife during 2020 when most of the world was pretty shut down, and it was profound. It was magnificent. Animals got to live their lives without being afraid of us. And so we see how much we affect the world and the way that we live, the desecration of the natural world, the way that we don't give a fuck about animals' rights and their livelihood, them being alive, their capacity to affect and impact the environment and how much we need them, right? Some of you I'm sure know about when Yosemite, they had like stripped away all the wolves. They like wiped out all the wolves around Yosemite, which is a national park. And then all of a sudden there were no predators for the deer. So the deer came in and the deer were wiping out all of these little plant species. And then the invasive non-native plant species were able to take over. And then the entire ecosystem was changing and there was not enough water and like things were getting all fucked up, and they just decided to reintroduce the wolves, and boom, everything went back to homeostasis and back to its highest expression and where it was meant to be. So I realized, what does this have to do with the moon? It's because there are so many different elements of how to create abundance. And we would think, oh, well, the wolves are eating the deer, so, that's not abundant. That's creating scarcity of the deer, but it's about balance. And so for this ritual, and if you want to join me again on Friday at 5 p.m., great. If you want to do your own thing, something that I would just really recommend is get out in nature if you can. I'm going to do a full moon hike. I'm so excited about that. I love full moon hikes. It's one of my favorite things to do. And really connect to the earth And if you live in a city, even more important, like get out there, go find somewhere where you can be under the moonlight, let yourself be bathed, maybe like get away from the city for a little bit and get out of that energy, because Taurus is very much about that earthly body. It's our earthly body as well. It's how is this vessel, how is this energetic creation being tended to, how does it get to experience luxury? And so what I really recommend that just came through super strong today was dressing up as the version of you that you desire to become in terms of your abundance or your self-love or your self-care or the way that you feel about yourself, being the most powerful or the most connected version of who you are, whatever that is what you want to dress for. So Taurus loves, like I said, the senses. It's very sensual. It's about the right things to taste that just make you feel, oh my God, it's so good. Like, oh, it's like orgasmic just to enjoy these raspberries or passion fruit or pumpkin pie, whatever it is that you really enjoy. Erewhon has been making, for those of you who are in LA, this pumpkin pie smoothie. It's called Smashing Pumpkin. Oh my goddess, I've been living for it. It's so good. It's literally just like pumpkin pie filling and the spices and almond milk, but it's like liquid pumpkin pie, and I've just been fiending for it pretty much every day. So I've been having one every day. So those of you in LA, little tidbit. Actually, secretly, I don't want you to buy it because then they'll run out. The other day I went and there was only one and I was like, I want 3, what's happening? So apparently the secret's out. Anyways, dressing as that version of you that is the lover, that is sensually alive, the version of you that feels like when you hear the kinds of music that just takes you somewhere and you just feel lost, and maybe it's really meditative and you just want to sink back. The first time I ever listened to Niels Fromm, that happened to me. I just went into this portal. It was like doing DMT or something. I was completely sober, and my friend loves records, and he put on the entire Niels Fromm Spaces album, and we listened to it from front to back, and I was like gone. I was like in a DMT state. I was out of this world just from this gorgeous classical music. It was profound. And so maybe it's that, and maybe it's the kind of music that makes you want to dance and move and just live your life and be so happy. Whatever the frequency is of this aliveness, this luxury in you. The reason I keep saying this, y'all know I'm one for tangents, but I keep saying it's going to be interesting because it's not a new moon, but you can come to completion with your patterns by engaging in new ones. So this is going to be, for me, more like a new moon type of energy because I'm going to dress the part. I'm going to act the part for myself. I'm going to feed myself the part. I'm going to tend to myself that whole day, and we're going to create ritual honoring that archetype. Doesn't have to have a label, doesn't have to have a name. It doesn't have to be the king or the queen or the goddess or the royal sovereign. It doesn't have to be any of that. It's just that version of you that is in your power, that knows you're worthy of luxuriating in your life. Whether that's with, just the sweetest little touch of something on your tongue, or with the feeling of silk or velvet on your skin, or a bath, or your loofah, or whatever it is. Doesn't matter what the thing is, but knowing you're worthy of it. And I'm going to invite you, again, if you're doing this ritual at home on your own, I'm going to invite you to keep that going as long as you can. So one of the things that I did that was really helpful yesterday, Bear was like, baby, we need to clean this closet out because like we have a big walk-in closet and he's got one side and I've got 2 sides, and sometimes I use some of his side too, and I got a lot of shit. I have a lot of adornment. I have a lot of clothes, a lot of costumes, and I don't wear all of it very often. And, there's been fewer parties. It's been all this whole weird quarantine, California's a prison camp kind of pandemic experience, but there's still a lot that I could get rid of that I don't actually need anymore. And so he pushed me to that yesterday. I was like, baby, get rid of a bunch of this stuff. It's got to go. Get it out. And I was like, okay, only 15 things. And he was like, no, 20. I was like, but then I got on a roll. And then I was like, okay, like this is no longer in alignment. This is no longer in alignment. This was cheap. This I've had for too long. Like this needs to go. And I got in this flow of getting rid of things. And of course, we're donating them. We always bring them to all of the charity shops so that other people can utilize them. But now I'm that much more excited for new things to come in. Like I just got this in the mail. I'm very excited. I love it. It's so cute. And the skirt is like so cute. And I just feel so cute. And it's like, okay, if I'm recycling, creating regenerative energy with these things, like it was just holding like stuck energy and space in my closet. No, let me clear that out so that I can bring new things in, more that's going to make me feel that way. So if these old things are out of alignment, if these old things are the version of me maybe that I climbed this mountain to get to, I climbed to where I am now wearing that stuff, great. But bless it, I'm on another track now. I'm going even higher. I'm moving up from here. And so what are the clothes or the activities or the books or the actions, the ways of being, the ways of expressing that I have to embody now in order to fully come to completion with those things from the past or from before? So again, that's why it's not new moon. It's very much full moon, but to truly, instead of, because this is not a fire sign, this is the slowest, like most stubborn, most zen of the signs, the most meditative. It doesn't want to do things with like, okay, let's burn and shake and like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, she's like, calm down. Take a deep breath. Now, let's do a makeover. Or let's meditate. And so the powerful opportunity here is to show that Taurian energy of the stars and this archetypal frequency of the zodiac that's present right now. I'm willing to engage in luxury. And there is an invitation around what is the story. That's the kind of stuff that I do with my one-on-one clients, and that if you have a coach or a therapist or someone to work on that with you, this is a really powerful time to be working through those questions around, why have I not felt worthy of this? Why do I not believe that I deserve this abundance or to luxuriate or to enjoy my life? Why do I not buy myself these, gorgeous organic mulberries at the farmer's market? It's not mulberry season, but if it were, when that's what I really want, but I tell myself they're $7 and like, I don't deserve that, or that's too much money to spend on myself in order to sensually delight myself. Because if y'all have ever had a mulberry, like, they're magnificent, spectacular. They can get like this long. They're so magical. You can like take little nibbles. I love mulberries. They're always worth it. It's worth it every time, So that's one of the big things that we really want to end and come to completion with. You can create a ritual around that however you want, but that's what I'm really feeling is that one of the most impactful ways to ritualize this is to embody it, is to spend your day dressed the way that you want, that makes you feel worthy, and then doing the things for and with yourself that show yourself I'm worthy. I've been really good. My friend saying in the guest house texted me this morning, he was like, girl, you've been saying you really wanted to be on your morning yoga practice, and I just see you out there every morning by 8:00. You're up on the yoga deck doing your thing. I just really want to acknowledge you for keeping your commitment to yourself. And I was like, yes, thanks. I appreciated that because it's hard sometimes. It's hard to get on the mat. The other day, I was like about to do it, literally had the class up, was like sitting there and got this like, I need to do this other thing, and like went into work instead. Luckily, I went back to it like 2:00, but still, it's like, it's hard to do it. There's so many things to distract us. So if you can engage in these habits, like spend your whole day in the habits of taking care of yourself. And sometimes that does mean work, right? Like someone like me, I get to do things like this. I get to honor sharing with all of you my magic, my light, my gifts, my receivership and vesselhood of and for the goddess. And I get to share that. So that's a great thing for me to do on Friday. And last little tidbit that I'll leave you with is that Friday, I've said this many times, but we talk about this a lot in witch school, but Friday is the goddess's day. It's Venus day. It's Venerdì, Venuti, Viernes in the Latin languages, which obviously are for Venus's day. And then in our, more Germanic, Anglo-Saxon origin language, we say Friday, Freya's day. Freya is the Norse god who is Venus equivalent. And so Friday is the day of the goddess. It is the day for beauty and the day for abundance. My partner and I take Fridays off so that we can just be together and make love and do rituals. And we usually do a coaching session for him, and it's super sweet. And he's so amazing for letting me coach him. I had to really push for that one, but now it's so fucking awesome now that he finally does. So put your proverbial crown on for this Friday. Be in your queen archetype, be in your magic, be in your power, be in your beauty, and honor this full moon by letting any of the stories that have told you that you don't deserve to be that way or to have the life that you desire, let all of that fall away. And if you want to engage in journaling and really as things come up, if you put a crown on like this and you're like, oh God, you look so silly, you look so ridiculous, you can't wear something like that, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, why do I think that? And really work through it in your journal. Ask the questions. What part of me thinks that? Why? What happened? I did a really deep process this morning around a piece of my inner child that was feeling like she's been needing protection still for so long, and I didn't even realize she was still there. So you can really work through a lot of things. Again, it's great to have a coach or a therapist or someone who can support you. But, even if something that's like, oh, too weird, hold please. If you thought that was too much, how about this one? I mean, come on. I could sit here and tell myself that I look ridiculous, except I don't. I tell myself that I look fabulous and that this is exactly the kind of crown that I'm just meant to be wearing, divinely designed. And maybe it's silly to make my cacao in the morning wearing this, but who cares, right? It's you're stepping into a version of yourself that makes you feel more alive and more aligned, and you get to do that however you desire. So again, thank you all so much for joining me. I would be honored to have you on Friday at 5 p.m. PST for our Taurus full moon ritual. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm so grateful to have all of you here. I am Mia Magic, and this is your most magical life.